So you guys actually have a couple of different places that you could go. Where we left off last time, you guys were in Cabell's Hill, and there was a dead body that kind of showed up. His name was anybody remember?
Not his name, but he looked pretty funky.
Yeah, his name was Rourke. And he was part of a party that went out to find Halvin Grangle, which was one of the farmsteaders of the area that really didn't do anything with his farm. So they went out to go look for him. And they tried to get one of the local rangers that lives on the border of the farmsteads in the Quivering Forest. And his name is Saralus Greenleaf. So they tried to employ him to try to track him down because he ventured off into the Quivering Forest, because they, a couple of the, villagers here went and kind of helped themselves into going into his house and found that he had like a journal with a bunch of maps of how to get to Greenhall in the Quivering Forest. And there's a pact. And there's a pact saying that the elves would kind of look out for the humans in the area of Cabell's Hill as long as they just didn't go inside of the forest. Because there was a lot of trees cut down prior, big fight happened, a bunch of people died, so that's why the pact was made some 100 years ago. So this dead body turned up, and you guys had found out that there had also been some livestock deaths as well at a gentleman. His name is Garl, and it was on his farmstead. And you also found out that where Saralus was. So you have Halvin Grangle's farm, Saralus, and the livestock deaths. So that's where we left off last time. And you guys had a full rest and all that good stuff. And we are continuing the next morning. So what do you guys want to do after you've had a little bit of time to ponder about all of this?
I thought we figured out that it was the livestock was probably killed by the same person, the hag that attacked Rourke, and we was going to go to Halvin's farm.
Sounds good. Yeah, because you guys also found when Rourke was up there, there was also a long pin that was jammed inside of him that had that note on it. And
good old Jenny Greenteeth.
Yeah, good old Jenny Greenteeth. You guys found out a little bit of information about her. So you guys want to head over to I guess Grangle's barn then? Is that what you said? Or do you want to go check out the livestock deaths? I know it was one of those two.
We're going to go to Halvin Gringle's.
Okay, that sounds good. So good old, you guys know Hugh. He's the owner of the Leaky Bucket. And he gave you guys directions, which only takes you several minutes to get there, actually. And as you guys are making your way there, you guys start to go through several different farmsteads. There's all kinds of things that are kind of happening around you. It's a very overcast day, so the weather's not the best, but it's that time of the year. So you're having some thunder, some lightning. There is like I said, a heavy cloud cover. So everything is still lit. I mean, it's still early morning hours and whatnot, but it's not as bright as it would be on a sunny day.
I was hoping those clouds would shut them birds up.
There's you can hear livestock as you're passing through all of the different farmsteads and stuff, rain and thunder, and you guys can start to smell like a fresh churned earth because of all of the farmsteads you're going to. They're planting crops and whatnot, and then the smell of the rain, and also you can smell manure. But you guys are coming up on the farmstead, and as you start to approach the farmhouse, you're kind of in like a small hollow within the forest, and there is the house looks like it's seen better days, and there's all kinds of loose boards and shingles. A lot of the paint is peeling off, and looks like there's a few stones that have kind of fallen from the leaning chimney on the roof. And then out back, there is a small barn, and it's even leaning more than the chimney is. And then there's all kinds of vines and stuff that have been growing up over this barn, covering most of it.
So this is the guy that no one knows where he's at, right?
Yes, Halvin Grangle, yes. He's the one that ventured out into the quivering forest.
So I'm going to check out Shen and Darg and Omi and just say, oh, where do we want to start searching first? You think the house or something else?
Well, we're here right now. We might as well take a look at the house.
Is the house open or windows open or anything like that?
No, it seems like everything's, seems like Cube
Buttoned
and all
up?
of the other, yeah, it seems like everybody's kind of buttoned it up, yeah. But it doesn't look like it's got anybody there.
Let's say we check it out first. You know, people tend to leave stuff where they reside, I guess.
Okay, sure. Barn or the house?
That's what I'm asking.
Well, it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys where you want to go, so.
I'll go check out the house then.
Yeah,
Let's check the house.
Okay. It seems like it's a small, you know, it's only about a 2-bedroom place. There's an open area as you kind of walk in, and it's not locked up or anything like that. And you just
open it up and walk on in, see what we see.
Sure. You walk in, there's all kinds of stuff. Kind of, it doesn't seem like it's been ransacked or anything, but bowls are kind of out of place and stuff, and cups hanging in the small kitchen area. There's a couple of couches that are on one side. There's a fireplace. Charcoal and stuff kind of thrown all over the place. There's there's also a couple of small rooms off to the side. Looks like they're, you know, bedrooms. And then there's another door in the back that kind of faces the barn.
I'm gonna just do a general check of the room, making, you know, does anything look particular?
Now, if you want to give me
see if there's any notes or anything like that.
Yeah, give me a perception check as you guys are kind of taking a gander around. Everybody can give me a perception check.
Yeah, then I'll start in the wherever we're at, and then move
Sure.
to the next rooms.
Yeah, both Shen and Markesh are, as you guys are over on the one side of the cottage where the kitchen area is. You guys, where these cups are hanging, you guys both notice that there's a board that's kind of awkward a little bit, and then you kind of push in on it, and it seems like there is a false panel there behind the cups that are hanging up. And you guys kind of pull that away, and inside it looks like there's a bag.
Well, I'll check it out.
All right.
Reach in and grab it.
Yeah, so when you pull the bag out, it feels like a box.
Spoons, I see.
Oh, you're hiding the spoons, yeah, no doubt, right? So you pull this out, Markish, and inside of the bag there is a small ornate silver box that has a dragon head that's etched on the top of the lid. Looks like it's got a little bit value to it, maybe about 15 gold or so. And then you open it up, and there's a small pouch that has some gems inside, a little bit of gold, and there is a journal. And on this journal, there is also the same type of dragon head that is engraved into the journal also.
I'm gonna check out the journal then.
Yeah, you kind of give it a once over, and if you want to take maybe 10 minutes or so studying it, you can kind of look over it, and I kind of want to get a gauge on what everybody else is doing. So, Darg, what about you?
I'm just going to be looking around to see what else I can spot.
Okay. You can give me a perception check as well. Actually, you already did. It was actually pretty bad. Omi, what about you?
Omi's looking through the drawers, wondering why this guy doesn't have any spoons, not realizing that Shen hit them all already.
Right. Shen, what about you? Hey, what's up, Jeb? Good
I
to see you,
was
man.
looking with Marquesh and
Mike Christie.
hiding
Jebel.
any spoons I see.
You get about a dozen or so hid. But 10 minutes go by, and Marcus, there are some pretty interesting things in this journal. It actually looks like a diary of Halvin. And, you know, it actually has his name on the inside of the cover and whatnot. And as you're reading through this, you've been able to find out that he was actually sent to Flan to kind of try to treat the Fae of the Quivering Forest, to maybe convince them to break the pact with the farmsteaders in the area, and especially, you know, Kabel's Hill. And the reason for that is Halvin looks like he's part of the Cult of the Dragon, which you guys have all already heard about the Cult of the Dragon. You know what they're all about. So it looks like this Halvin Grangle, he's part of the Cult of the Dragon. And the cult has sent him to break the pact, because the cult, they want to ransack the entire area, and they know that the Fae of the Quivering Forest, they pretty much look out for the humans, and if that pact is broken, then they can go ahead and, you know, just ransack everything freely and not have to worry about the elves. And it looks like you've also found like a list of like letters and gifts that he's been sending to the elves also. But it looks like he's gotten frustrated, and it doesn't look like maybe they've even received the gifts, or maybe they just have ignored him altogether and not sent any kind of reply back. Which, after a couple months of this, as you're reading the diary, he's getting he's getting really impatient here, and he's decided to go into the forest on his own. And he says, I may not come back from this, basically. And he knew that Greenhall was pretty much the closest settlement within the Quivering Forest to where he's located and where Kabel's Hill is. But he had a general idea of how to get there. And he found out from good old Jenny Greenteeth. And then he also mentions, and well, the last journal entry was about 3 to 4 weeks ago, so almost a month. But then the last thing that he says is he expressed that he was actually disappointed in his familiar because it seems like his familiar was scared of going into the forest. And that's pretty much all of the information that you were able to pretty much determine in 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I'll certainly relay that to everyone. It says, I think we got another one of these dragon pricks, and anything to do with this box. This box is just worth a little money, huh?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and I've already got a loot parcel made, and I've already got it into the party loot. So if you guys want any of that, you can take it. And then I put you guys still have a scroll of fireball and silver necklace and
nice
stuff like that.
So there's an unidentified item. It must be this. There's another one. It says silver necklace, superior scroll, and unidentified.
Ah, yes, the poison. It was the gourd of poison that you guys had found.
Oh, I think it was Shen's, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought he took that. Yeah. But there you go, everything is identified in there now.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know what would be cool? If there was an identify all button on the party sheet that would identify everything. That would be nice. That would be a nice feature. Instead of having to go through everything independently.
I think you might know a guy.
I think I might know a guy. I'm going out with Doug next Monday. We're going out and getting sushi and stuff. Gonna have to say, yo, party sheet, what's up? No.
Well, if no one minds, I'm gonna steal that scroll of fireball. I might be able to put some use.
Okay.
At least I'm able to cast that spell. If anyone else is, they can certainly go for it too. But
That's found me. I thought Dard took
proper spell
the
for me
Lord
to
of
cast.
Poison.
What was that, Chief?
I thought Darganath had the gourd of poison.
Wasn't there? I thought there were a couple of them. Were there 2 gourds?
I don't remember 2 gourds.
I don't even remember what it does.
It you can apply it to your weapon, and it'll basically make the poison condition go onto the creature that you hit. And you get 6 uses. There's 6 uses in that gourd. So, of course, it'll take an action to apply it. So what do you guys think? But that's pretty much everything that you found, Markish. That's a small
Yeah, it sounds good.
box, yeah.
And of course, no spoons. Let me know. There is
not
in this house.
not a
Must be
single spoon.
conspiracy.
No, not a single spoon.
Oh man, how can this guy live without spoons?
I bet he couldn't. He probably took them.
He's a knife and fork kind of guy.
Don't need it with your meat and potatoes. I mean, he's got
All right.
plenty of cows. Well, he doesn't, but the other guys do right down the road.
Well, if we're done with searching the house, perhaps we should check out the barn.
Sure. Yeah, there's a back door. So you guys go into the barn, and there's actually really nothing going on in the barn. There is, I will say, there is a pile of hay, which looks like someone or something was sleeping here.
A pretty large something, or
No, not really.
Human-sized something.
No, definitely not human-sized, Marcus. It is definitely a lot smaller. That's for sure. But why don't you guys give me everybody give me a perception check as you guys are kind of looking around in the barn as well. Wow. You guys, great perception checks there. I mean, everybody was 17 or higher. So, yeah, you guys, somebody wasn't trying to hide anything, basically. And, you know, there's that pile of hay. There's a couple of small trinkets. And there's there's a bag and stuff like that. There's about 10 gold. And then there's a comb made out of bone that's worth a little bit. But what's in the bag is pretty interesting. It's a scroll of chromatic orb. So I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and add that stuff to the party sheet as well. So all of that stuff should be identified now. Here we go. All right. Yeah, just a pile of hay. But what you do see is you guys can see that there's like pieces of meat and small little chunks of meat and little bones that have been pretty much pecked clean. Like someone eating a chicken wing or something, you know? Yeah, and you can see that there's a little bit here, but then there's like some blood and stuff that kind of goes out of the barn also.
Is there any way to follow that? Is there a tracks that we could follow? Is there a trail or anything like that?
Yeah, it's pretty blatant. Give me a tracking check. And actually, you can do that with advantage as well because of the really not trying to hide it. Yeah, survival, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're able to track it. It seems like it's going off in the direction to where all of the livestock was slaughtered.
All right.
Is the meat cow meat by chance?
Point the direction of the wind.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because they had marked Hupe and all of the other, you know, villagers, well, the farm sitters there at Kabel Hill. They put on your map the locations. So yeah, it seems like everything is kind of heading that direction towards where Garl's farm was, where the dead cows and the dead livestock was. Now, to answer your question, Omi, about is it cow? It looks like a beef. It doesn't look like it's like a chicken or anything like that.
Red meat. Oh.
Yeah, it is definitely a red meat. Yeah, it's got a tangy smell, sort of like a slime on it. It's been sitting there for a while.
You want some, Markesh?
I licked it.
It's
Put a
definitely
finger
not
on
fresh.
it, lick my finger, just to make sure how old this was.
Yeah, maybe a couple of days or so, Markish. It's starting to, the kind of aging a little bit. Yeah, it's starting to mold a little bit. Yeah.
Get a couple of egg sacs on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, to a bruteful half orc like you, shit, man, you tear that up, man. That's like a Cheez-It snack or something. But I don't know. You may not like that stuff, so
You just might need some dipping sauce.
Maybe some mayo?
Oh my gosh. Here we go. I love it. So you got...
he had honey.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. You go ahead. Did you guys want to head over to the drunk farmer's house, Garl? Where he kept saying those goddamn things kept killing my cows.
I want to follow that trail over there and see if there's anything noticeable on the way. But I'll keep following that trail. I'm assuming it came from there and stayed here. So probably following the trail backwards. But I just want to confirm that I can check out the tracks on the way there.
Yeah, because it seems like there's tracks both coming and going. So it looks like there's been a couple of trips made, Markish, between where this house is and the livestock. So you guys are making your way through the short trip through the woods, over the river and through the woods to the livestock house we go. And as you guys are coming up, you can actually smell something dead for sure. And as you guys are kind of surveying Garl's place, you can see that there is 3 large cows that look like they're bloated as hell. These things are all blown up. And around some bushes by a large outcropping of rocks over by one of his fields that he has a bunch of agriculture in. And it looks like when you guys get up to these and you can start to hear the flies buzzing and whatnot, it seems like these things have been killed at separate times, and it doesn't look like they were killed all at the same time. But it looks like they've got, like these puncture marks, and especially Dargonoth, seeing that you're a swashbuckler. These puncture marks, it seems like they've got a little bit of a greenish, blackish rot around them, sort of like it would be poison or something like that. And then it looks like there's also been quite a bit of the meat that's been carved off. I mean, very clean cuts, precision cuts, like it would be with a knife or something. And as you guys get up to them, a couple of, large carrion birds kind of fly away, squawking because you just pissed them off because you just interrupted their dinner. Squawk! But there are 3 of them there.
Hey guys, do you see these poison marks here?
Yeah.
Poison.
And these things, when you kind of poke on it, Darg, these things are under severe pressure, and these things are just like farting all over the place. I mean, they're just letting the gas out. So as you're looking at one of the cows, all of a sudden this thing starts to shudder, and it looks like something's kind of moving under its skin, because you can see something that kind of up against the underside of it, and it's kind of moving around, and then all of a sudden, as you guys are looking like, what in the hell? You can see there's like the blade of a knife comes right through the fur of the cow, and it just kind of opens it up, and Ace Ventura style, there is a a small little scaly creature with leathery wings and all covered with blood and all kinds of other crap, and he just kind of peels himself out of it.
As he's doing that, I'm going to be ready in a weapon.
Sure. Yeah, he's got his knife, and then he kind of slips. He does a whoop, 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 and he slips because of all of the blood and the guts and stuff. And then he's only about a foot tall, Markish. And then he stands up and he picks himself up, and he's startled by you guys too. But it is definitely an imp. You can tell that this is an imp. And Darganoth, this imp is the cause of all the puncture wounds as well. And then this thing stands up and says, "Oh, hey there. I didn't see you there. I'm Pip Yap. Nice to meet you. This stuff sure is good. Do you guys want a bite?"
I'm good.
Oh, this stuff is great.
Homie?
What are you doing with these cows?
He says, "Well, I've kind of been on my own the last couple of weeks, and hey, an imp has got to eat. So I like beef, and I decided to put beef onto the menu for a couple of days or so. I hope that hasn't been an inconvenience to anyone. I would hate for it to be an inconvenience to someone."
Well,
it has.
You've been on your own for a couple weeks.
Oh, because of my master. He has gone out into the quivering forest, which I don't think that was probably the best thing to do, but that's a whole nother story in its own. But I've just been hungry. Hey, if you guys want to start a campfire, hey, you guys can take some of this. It's still good, but I mean, like I said, these things are bloated. They stink. Flies are buzzing all around. He says, "This stuff is great. You should try some." And he has a shoulder pouch on as well, and he keeps taking these slices of meat, and he keeps putting them into his his shoulder pouch.
I might suggest you move on, wee thing. We've been hired to deal with whatever killed these cattle.
Ooh. He's got his mouth full.
As I say with my my long sword pointed towards him.
He spits it out. Whoa! There's no need to. I can definitely move on. I'll go back over to my master's house, and will you just let me peel off a couple more flanks? But I promise I'll leave and I won't come back. Who has charged you to deal with this? Maybe I owe someone a couple of livestocks, maybe?
Yeah. Not just maybe. That's definitely yes.
Okay, well, hey, I don't
know how an imp's gonna make livestock, but
I'm not gonna make it, but I'm gonna ask my my master, my mentor.
Wait, who's your master?
Oh, his name is you probably don't know him. His name is Halvin. He's one of the farmsteaders around here. His name's Halvin Grangle.
So you're his familiar?
The one and only. Pip Yap is my name. I better be the only familiar he has, or me and him's going to be having a talk. Oh, where is he? He went out into the quivering forest. Why do you ask?
Oh, we just wanted to talk to him.
About what? Maybe I can relay a message to him? I'm not within telepathic communications with him right now. He's way off. Normally I could, but he's out of the reach of my my thoughts.
Can you tell if
I could leave him a message.
Alive?
I hope he's alive. I haven't seen him.
Would you know if he is?
I haven't had any kind of feeling or anything like that. I haven't been banished back into the Nine Hells, although I do like it here on the material plane, and I would prefer not to go back down there if I have something to do with it. But no, I sorry about that. I haven't seen him, but I don't think he's dead. I haven't been released from my bond yet.
Well, then, what are we going to do about these cattle?
He's a swell guy. I mean, he's made a dumb decision into going into the forest. I mean, this last decision, I mean, he's a great guy, but he does make dumb decisions. This last one was a real doozy. You know, that's why I didn't want to go with him. That's why I kind of stayed behind, and I told him that I would just kind of look after the farmstead. We got to take care of these cows. I can't. I'm a little too small. I'm only about a foot tall, as you can see, and I can't move these things. Maybe you could help me clean these up? But I will. I'm an imp of my word. I will make sure that whoever owns these livestock they'll be replaced for them.
Did you kill these livestock?
Of course I did. I was hungry. Of course. They didn't deserve it, but I mean, what's an imp to do?
That mystery solved.
This is a big mystery about the killings of the livestock around Kabel Hill. Oh my goodness!
You scared the shit out of some farmers. I can tell you that, little imp.
Well, they should be scared. I told him not to go in there, but Halvin, he's got the mind of his own. He went into the forest. He knows about that pact. He knows that he shouldn't be going in there, but he did anyway. And I didn't want any part of it. So that's why I stayed away.
So would you be able to help us find your master?
You mean go into that? You mean go into the quivering forest? Are you crazy, half-elf?
Why? What's so bad in there?
There's lions and tigers and bears, oh my! That's not even including the elves. Ooh.
I think if it's so dangerous, maybe we should help you find your master.
Why don't you guys give me a group persuasion check as you guys are talking to Pip Yap. Oh wow, nice rolls, guys. I mean, big time. You guys all slayed it. So he says, well, Halvin did treat me pretty good, and I don't want to go back to the Nine Hells, and I hope he is okay. So, sure, I'll accompany you. Absolutely. As long as you let me have a couple more minutes to where I can cut a couple more of these steaks off of this livestock. Boy, are you sure you don't want a piece? This stuff is really good. It's got a great taste to it.
A little bit of bile comes up in my mouth.
He didn't mull over it that long. You guys persuaded him pretty quickly.
Is there a way to maybe get the farmer and bring him out where we're at? Is that going to take way too long?
Oh, you mean Garl? No, Garl's actually Garl's passed out. As you kind of look over towards the house, Markish, he's passed out under the porch. Keys in his hand. Doesn't look like he could open the lock, so it looks like he just kind of passed out on his porch.
Sounds good. I won't worry about it. As long as we got rid of the thing that was killing his animals, we're good.
But I promise, I'm an imp of my word. I will make sure that he gets more livestock. Well, hopefully. I'll try my hardest.
So, we're gonna head into the forest then today? Or we? What else we gotta do?
We still got that Saraless person, the Saraless Greenleaf,
I
believe.
The ranger.
Go talk to or find.
The location on the map to where, relative to where you guys are at, it's a cottage that is on basically the border of the quivering forest and the area of the farmsteads.
So it's on the way to the forest anyway.
Sounds like a reasonable next stop.
So there we go.
All right, so you guys go on a like an animal path, very narrow, twisting through all of the forest and whatnot. It's only about a mile journey, and the whole way that you guys are going towards Saralis's, Pip Yap is basically just kind of munching away on morsels and meat and kind of throwing of little bones and spitting out the gristle and whatnot. And this narrow path, it opens up into a small glade where there is a pretty loud stream that's tumbling past a cabin built, it looks like a little miniature log cabin, basically. It has a sod roof, and it seems like there is some type of occupancy here. There's a small garden on one side of the cabin where it looks like there's a bunch of herbs and vegetables that's growing really nice, neat rows, and there's there's baskets kind of hanging on the roof that has a bunch of vines, herbs and stuff growing off of the vines and whatnot. And in this field, there are a couple of scarecrows, and you don't see any birds around. And inside of the garden, it looks like you can see that there's a figure, and as you get a little bit closer, it looks like a half-elf. And as you guys are approaching, he notices you, and he stops and kind of props his elbow up on and he stands up and props his elbow up onto the shovel, and he looks at you, kind of looks everybody up and down, and he also and in fact, the imp, he disappears altogether. And in fact, you guys saw him kind of vanish, basically, sort of like an invisibility spell or something. But you can still hear him chewing away and whatnot, so it looks like he's still with you guys. And as you guys get closer, this half elf, he says, "I take it they haven't returned yet," and he says that with, you know, like a concern in his voice.
Just look to Omi.
By they, I am assuming you mean the other villagers that went into the forest?
Yes. All of the villagers from Kabel's Hill, they went about a 10-day ago, and they were looking for one of the new farmsteaders here, Halvin Grangle.
I'm going to show him this Cult of the Dragon robes that I've gotten a while back. These purplish robes.
Yeah.
See if he's. Have you seen anyone wearing these sorts of things around this place, friend?
No, actually, I have not seen anyone wearing those types of robes. What are they? What are they for? Seem quite interesting. What does that symbol mean on it?
It has something to do with some people worshiping dragons. Seems our boy Halvin here was part of this cult.
Ah, yes.
It's been causing quite a lot of mischief.
Yes, I've heard of the Cult of the Dragon. I've actually heard a couple of their trackers that I know. They've actually mentioned that there has been activity off, around the Alm area where a bunch of small towns and small cities have been attacked by this cult, basically plundering and looting everything. Something about
they're taking everything of value.
Yeah. Some crazy story that they're trying to raise Tiamat or something like that. I don't even know if that would be possible. Tiamat's just stories of folklore and whatnot. I don't see how that could happen, but
likely just a bunch of crazy humans.
Probably. You got to watch out.
Always running about. They don't have near enough time on this earth.
Right. But he does seem genuinely disappointed to hear that the villagers haven't returned. And he kind of drops the shovel that he was working with, and he says, "Why don't you guys come inside to my cabin? And I've got some great homemade hard cider. This is my life's work. You guys take a load off. Looks like you guys have been traveling a while. And have a drink. You come inside and we'll talk."
At the mention of hard cider, I see Mr. Spoony pop his head out of my pocket.
What? May I ask your name, good sir?
Oh, Saralus. Well met. Saralus Greenleaf.
Well, Sara, have you ever seen an imp?
Oh yeah, I've seen
Thing of the Hills.
quite a few imps. And actually, he appears, Pip Yap, he appears. And Saralus, he gives it a...
because this old boy belongs to the to our missing friend, or to missing cultist.
Missing Halvin? He's a cultist. Ooh, and this is his imp. Mm. Well, my friends, I just wouldn't trust that imp. And he just blatantly comes out and says it. And you know, by this time, you guys are all going into the small little place that he has, and I'm going to give you guys a map of the cottage, what it looks like and stuff. And let's put your tokens down. We'll say where the stairs are. That's where the door is to this place. This is Saralus. There we go. Shen, here's you. And he comes over to the room down here. Nice little fireplace going, and he's got his hard cider and a have a nice hot Dickens cider. He calls it Dickens cider. Sorry about that.
I don't need the Dickens, but
Dickens, D-I-C-K-E-N-S, Dickens. It was from a friend of mine, one of the other scouts that I had known. He created this recipe, and he sadly died several years back, and I still had the recipe, so I kind of named it Dickens cider.
Quite the funny thing.
So stupid. So he goes over and gets everybody.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he goes over and gets everybody glasses and pours it. And nice little cottage here. And he sits down and he goes, "Yeah, it's sad. These guys, they came over a couple 10 days ago, and you know, I mean, they're farmers at Cabell's Hill. They're not scouts. They're not rangers. They don't know how to fight. And when they came over to my cottage, they asked me if I wanted to lead their group into the Quivering Forest, and they wanted me to take them to Greenhall. And I told them that the elves were the least of our concern for going in there, but they wouldn't even hear it. And I know about the pact and all of that, and that's why I hardly even go in there. And I have passage, I can go in there, but they just wouldn't have it. And I cautioned them against going in there, because the Fae, they would probably react pretty poorly if they saw them in there. They just didn't care. They went in. They were really hesitant about finding Halvin. And man, now to find out that he's a cultist with this cult of the dragon, that's not a good thing. So they were going to go in there, and I just couldn't let them go in there with a pitchfork and hose. So I gave them a little bit of gear that I've had laying around for the years, and I outfitted them with some equipment that was more suitable for going in there. So, you know, I gave him a sword and gave him a nice warm cloak and gave him some rations, and you know, but I did warn him that this could probably end in tragedy for him, and they just didn't want to hear it, and this actually really saddens me.
Are you familiar with Granny Greenteeth?
Oh, Jenny Greenteeth? If you think going to Greenhall is going to be bad, her place is a den of malevolent evil. I would not go there. I wouldn't want anything to do with this Jenny Greenteeth. She signed the pact that 100 years ago. So, yeah.
I think one of the villagers...
What about her? How do you know she's in... Is she involved in this somehow or something?
Ran across her. We believe she took his eyes.
Oh, poor. You're talking about poor Rourke, right? Yeah, poor Rourke. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how did they know that it was her that took her eyes out?
He was screaming it was the witch.
Oh. Yeah, that could. I mean, there are some other. There are multiple hags out here, but probably it would possibly be Jenny Greenteeth, and I wouldn't put it past.
Why do you guys
her.
put up with so many hags?
Well, they're part of the quivering force. They kind of come with the baggage.
It's all that face shit, huh?
So let me guess. You guys are going in there to find Rourke's companions, right?
That's what's paying.
Yeah, that's the current plan.
Now, do you know how to get to Green Hall? Do you know how to get to Jenny Greenteeth's den? I mean, do you know anything about the Quivering Forest?
We don't, which is why we intentionally ran into you.
He kind of sighs a little bit, and he says, well, it looks like, at least it looks like all of you can handle yourselves. So I let one group go in there a couple of 10 days ago, and it seems like their fate has been sealed for them already. You're going to go in there. So I don't think I want to have that on my conscience as well. So I will go ahead and aid you, and I'll take you to where you want to go. I take it you want to go to Green Hall and find the witch as well. I will take you. I just need about an hour or so